ahead and start. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. I'd like to welcome you to the closing ceremony of the 2018 Joint Science and Technology Institute. On behalf of Dr. Hand, the Director of the Joint Science and Technology Office, and DITRA Chemical and Biological Technologies Department, welcome and thank you for making the trip this morning to see what your young people have done for the high school over the last 2 weeks and what the middle school has done over the last week. So before we get started, we're going to show a video that the high schoolers made that shows what JSTI was like from their viewpoint.
Baby, you got a bright future behind you. Treat you better.
Bless them when there ain't no stressing. This one is straight for the girl, them.
We don't have to worry about nothing. We got the fire, and we burning one hell of a something.
And you can tell me if I'm off, but I see it on your face when you say that he's the one that you want. And you're spending all your time in this wrong situation. And anytime you want it to start,
Gonna wear that dress you like, skin tight. Do my hair up real nice. I syncopate my skin to your heart beating. I'm tired of being oh, there it goes. I sang too much, it overflowed. What do I always spill? Every time that you get undressed, I hear symphonies in my head.
You can stand under my umbrella, ella, ella, yeah, yeah. Under my umbrella, ella, ella, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You set me free. Let me live that fantasy.
Baby, we found love right where we are.
I had a dream, we were back to 17. Summer nights and the libertines, never growing up. We're like diamonds in the sky.
You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive.
You're talking money, need a hearing aid. You're talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch up my style, I take any lane. I switch up my car if I kill any pain.
You're alive, ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna go and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I got to do.
If I got locked away and we lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same?
We are full in love with you every single day. I just wanna tell you I am.
I'm in your waterfall. I'm in your waterfall.
Shine bright like a diamond.
1, 2, 3,
Shine bright like a diamond.
1, 2, 3, shine bright like a diamond. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, and now we're stressed out.
How could I replace that? I just wanna see you shake that. Give it to me, I'ma take that. Maybe we found love right where we are.
So as you can see, they've had a little bit of fun, just a little bit outside of the the activities that we had planned for them, their days usually started at 6 and ended around 10. And they were pretty busy during the week. Most of that happened on the weekend, the one weekend that we had here. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Colonel Mike Quinn, who is our brand new deputy for the Joint Science and Technology Office, who will give a few remarks.
Hey, thanks, Dale. Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, as Dale pointed out, I got my reprieve from the Pentagon and back into the science and technology world. So today I'm finishing up my third week in the office. I'd like a special welcome to parents, teachers, any other guests that have made the trip out here. And I'm going to follow the pure Army briefing standard: be brief, be gone, and be good. So I'm going to be brief and be gone. So the important thing, we want to see what the kids have to offer. I'd like to do a real special thanks, and I know I'm going to miss something or some organization. So my apologies, up front. But I'd like to thank Oak Ridge Institute, CDF Research Corporation, ECBC, USAMRIID, RDECOM, Hartford Community College, Army Research Laboratory, and the many other folks who have contributed time and effort into making this happen, our 6th annual GISTE science event. Without your participation, this type of great thing just can't happen. Also, a special thanks to all the mentors and the teachers who spent the last 2 weeks with the students and with our teacher students, if that's the right way to phrase that, to make all this happen. And lastly, I know for the students, when I did the welcome presentation last week, I challenged you or asked you that I was really hoping you're going to get hooked on STEM over these next 2 weeks. And from what I understand, I think a vast majority of you, if you were not already hooked, you are now hooked. And I think your research that you did the last couple weeks and the presentations that you're going to give us are really going to demonstrate that. So with that, again, welcome to the Edgewood area. I hope we're not going to have a whole lot of rain today, but we'll wait and see. And I'm going to get off the stage and hand the microphone back to Dale. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jim Vosberg, who is the director for the Oak Ridge Institute for Science and Education. And his organization is responsible for running the Institute and the behind the scenes and the day-to-day. And without him and his team, we wouldn't be able to do this. Dr. Vosberg.
Thank you, Dale. Good morning, Colonel. I'd like to say I'm an Air Force veteran, and we don't adhere to that same policy, so it may take a few more minutes. But thanks to you, Colonel, for your support of this great program. This is my 3rd year here. Dale, always a great job. I've been following you on social media. Just a fantastic 2 weeks you've had up here. Thank you very much. I have 2 purposes this morning. One of them, I'm going to tell the kids a story. And then I'm going to recognize a few high school students and one middle school student in particular. So my story is about a woman named Ruth Heath. Now, who is Ruth Heath? She was, she's no longer with us, but she was a biology teacher, a brilliant biology teacher in upstate New York at a school called Spenceport High School, just outside of Rochester, if you've ever been up in snow country. Well, she was a little bit quirky, a little bit older than most of the other teachers. She'd wander into class a little late just about every day, disheveled, and so on. Sometimes when she was given a lesson, she would pause and just kind of look out the window in thought, and then all of a sudden come back to reality, get back to her lesson and teach her program. Sometimes also she would sit in the back of the class when we were watching videos, biology videos, with the lights down, and most of us could probably hear her snoring in the back just a little bit. But she was a brilliant teacher, and one thing that impacted all of us, we talked, some of the alumni from my school, about something she used to say, and this was a number of years ago. And she always said, you know what, science and math are going to be cool someday. They're going to be cool someday. Of course, most of the athletes in the class were kind of laughing, sure. But what she missed in that was the other part of that, technology and engineering. As the colonel said, STEM. But guess what, kids? STEM is now cool. The White House, the President, the Secretary of Energy, Secretary Perry, are very focused on STEM education right now. This is one of the premier programs that you just took part in the last 2 weeks. So kudos to you, to your family, your support group that got you here. Make sure you have fun with it as you move forward into high school and into college. There's quite a few colleges out there waiting for you. And as a veteran, I'd also like to plug the military services as a possibility. They've got some great STEM programs if you want to go that route. So remember that. When you go back to your class, say, hey, some guy that spoke at JSTI said, STEM is cool. So now I'd like to recognize 3 high school students in particular. And I had to write your names down to make sure I got your names right. And I think they're all sitting together, if I remember right. Marianne Castro, is she here? If you could stand up for just a second, thank you. Is Lauren Kirshner here? Lauren? Okay, you need to stay standing, Marianne. I'm going to put you on the spot here. And Kirsten Riley, are you here? Thank you. So I heard all the way down in Tennessee that these 3 ladies had a special request when they were here. I understand you live overseas, correct? Guam, Japan, so on. And I don't know if you have a mic back there, but what was your request that you had with your teachers? We wanted to go to Target. So I'm assuming there are no Targets where you are. No. Okay. So we heard about that. I also heard you went to Target, but you didn't buy very much. But it was just the event to get into the store then, right? So you feel better you went to Target right now? All right. Thank you. Now for you 3, we have a few gifts. We have some over-ice swag, as we call it. A hat, pens, pins, and we also have for each one of you an Amazon gift card. So they'll pass those around to you. Thank you. The last one is a rock star who has now become very, very famous down in Tennessee. His name is Keenan Shanks. Is Keenan here? Is he you're way in the back, okay? So I talked to Marie, and she said, there's a participant here named Keenan Shanks, and this guy can eat. So as I understand it, Keenan, you like buffets and you like to eat quite a bit? Is that right? As I heard it, the buffet you went back 3 times with a full plate each time. So. That's great. I mean, you look very fit. Keep it up. Eat as much as you want. And we got some gifts for you in the back also. So thank you, Keenan. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks to all of you. I want to say a special thanks to the parents and the support groups for these kids. There's always a parent, grandparent, uncle, teacher, sponsor, neighbor behind every one of these events getting them here. So all of you kids, say a special thank you to whoever you got here. I strongly encourage doing that face-to-face. Or they make stamps at the post office. You can actually write a note and send one in the mail to them, okay? It's very important. Thank those people. And thank all the people that made this happen during the day. I'm looking forward to your presentations today. Thank you very much.
Before we begin the presentations, I have some housekeeping information. If you drive the following cars, please move them quickly. A blue BMW with Virginia plates, a blue Toyota with Maryland plates, red Honda CR-V, gold Toyota Camry, Ford SUV with Tennessee plates, a red Ford Fusion with Maryland plates, and a white Volvo with Pennsylvania plates. You're parked right out here in the front in the next door's parking area, and they're giving us a chance to let you move your cars now. I do apologize for that. So one thing I'd like to mention is the robotics team comes up and gets ready, is that we are live streaming today's event. So you'll be able to, for the folks who are back home, they can watch it. And also after it's done, you'll be able to go back and watch it from the website as well. You all ready? All right. And so without further ado, the robotics team is the first one up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this year's robotics competition. May you please introduce Stefan and Sean from Team Purple. No one? Okay. Now we have Eben and Jaden from Team Blue. Today, these two teams are going head-to-head in this robotics competition to test their skills in programming and building. We now have an interview from me to these. Stefan, what do you feel your chances are in today's competition?
I'm pumped up. I'm ready to win this thing. That's all I can say.
Thank you. And Sean, what was your inspiration for your robot, and did you have any difficulties building it?
Our initial inspiration for our robot was to use an elevator mechanism, but since the elevator box would have been too heavy, we replaced that with a shovel. So that was our main difficulty with building it.
Thank you, Sean. And now over to Chris with Team Blue.
Thank you, Jesse. Now, starting with Jaden, how are you feeling about the competition today?
Feeling pretty good. We're undefeated, as some people might know. It's easy win for us. They have a clunky design.
Well, it's good to feel confident. Good job. Now, Eben, what was your inspiration for building your robot, and did you have any difficulties building it?
Yeah, I had a lot of difficulties. Let's see. For our team name, we decided to call it WASP. That was a little challenging design, but we got it done. We have claws that move back and forth, and for our wheels, we have a motor on each one to add a little bit of speed and agility.
Okay, sounds very interesting. Now, back to Jesse.
Here we have Sherrod with the rules of the competition. Sherrod.
All right, thank you. I'm Sherrod. First of all, who do you guys think is going to win? Team Blue or Team Purple?
Team Purple. And for Team Blue. All right.
All right, so the rules of the game are simple. It's an 8x8 square, and we have two corners. In this corner, we have Team Blue, and in that corner, we have Team Purple. And there's two different types of balls. We have the small green soccer balls, and these are worth -1 points in your opponent's corner. And then we also have the orange footballs that are worth 3 points in your own corner. And another easy way to get 8 points is by having a crucial part, the transmitter, of your robot in your own corner. And the first 30 seconds of the match will be played autonomously, so with no human control. And then the next 2 minutes will be played with the user control.
Now we have 3 commentators with their views on today's match.
All right. It's important to point out that Blue has a back bumper, so they can't get flipped, a giant upper hand. Also, their claws are perfectly shaped, so they can pick a football up very easily and score 3 points.
All right, that may be true, Sarah, but let's not forget that the purple team has a nice shovel that has been specifically designed to pick up these balls, and that's going to allow them to carry them across the field while also keeping them away from their opponents, which is going to give them a huge advantage.
Well, I think both teams have a pretty equal chance as long as both of the members control the robots in synchronization. Both these robots are controlled by 2 separate controllers and 2 separate people, so any loss of synchronization could be the game.
I would like to give a shout out to Harrison Hughes for being today's referee. Harrison, stand up for a second. This is him. All right. Are both teams ready with their robots? All right. In 3 seconds, press your button to begin the match. In 3, 2, 1.
So we have started the autonomous mode. As can be seen, Team Blue has moved forward. Oh, but they were pushed out of the way by Purple. Purple has not grabbed anything yet and is now currently spinning in circles. Please note that the autonomous mode lasts for 30 seconds, no matter how long either team's autonomous is.
And user control has now begun.
Blue has swiftly grabbed a orange football and pushed it into their corner, but also they have managed to get 2 green soccer balls in their corner for a total of only 1 point. Purple has managed to get both a green soccer ball and an orange football into their corner for a total of 2 points. Blue is attempting a steal. Will they make it? It seems not. Oh, purple is attempting a steal. We have 1 minute remaining. Uh-oh, the robots have locked together. Blue is at a severe disadvantage since they have 2 sets of omnidirectional wheels, which allow them to be pushed around with a lot of ease. Purple goes for 1 more ball before time is up. 30 seconds. Blue gets 1 last ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is 18-9. Blue wins.
For the final part of our presentation, we are going to present to you the robots that were eliminated in earlier rounds. Oh, wait, yeah, we have tiaras for the winners. All right. Team Yellow, which consists of Luke and Sarah. Here you go.
Our robot is Silver Scraps. Its only ability is that it can flip over and still keep on going.
All right.
It was built in only 1 hour and 30 minutes.
We have Team Red with Sherrod and Caroline.
We have a triangle design so we can easily maneuver around, but not good enough to make it to the finals.
And then we have Team Green, which consists of me, Jesse, and Chris, with our robot Thick Boy. Called it that because of how big it is. Oops. Hold that up. Thank you. All right, and this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for having us.
So as the next group gets ready to set up, I would like to give a special thanks to, can I have the RTs and Nicole stand up, please? So Nicole and her RTs have been responsible for the students from, like I said, 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. every night, and plus through the night in some instances. And without them, I know that you all wouldn't feel comfortable dropping them off and leaving them alone for 2 weeks. And they've made it extremely possible for us to run a program for the last 6 years with very minor incidences. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So today is your lucky day because you are now watching Jeopardy. And now for your host, Jared Bays.
Hello, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Jeopardy where our topic of interest is going to be 3D printing. Now to introduce our contestants, our first team is going to be Jess and Jonathan. And their team name is going to be
J Squared.
Thank you, thank you. I'm loving the math aspect. Next, we're gonna have Lauren and Mariana. Whose team name is going to be? Wait for it.
Geek Girls.
The Geek Girls. Thank you, thank you. And for our last team, we're going to have Dre and Julian. Whose team name is going to be?
The Printer Bros.
The Printer Bros. Yes, yes, loving it. Okay, now for the rules, really quickly. Each team is going to have to pick a category of acronym, software, or support for $300 or $500. If they get it correct, they get the money, and if they do not, then of course the money does not go anywhere. There is one daily double mixed in, so it's random, and so any team has a chance to skyrocket into the lead if the question is chosen. So, Jess and Jonathan being our first team, we'll be able to choose.
All right, we're gonna go big. Acronyms 500.
Acronyms 500. The question is going to be, when is the best time to 3D print? J squared.
What is in the AM? Because additive manufacturing, AM, sorry.
Get it? Whoa.
Sorry.
I am very sad to say that they are actually correct. Yes, it is in the AM the morning. So that goes $500 to J squared. And now that they've gotten it correct, they're able to pick another category.
All right, we're gonna keep it safe. Acronyms 300.
Acronyms 300. What does PLA stand for?
Ding.
Printer Bros, what is your answer?
Please leave me alone. What is please leave me alone? There we go.
That is incorrect. That is not correct. I am sorry.
What?
Geek Girls, what is your answer?
What is polylactic acid, which is made of sugar, and when it is heated up, it smells like cookies.
Okay.
and
We don't need a full explanation. But yes, that was correct. It was polylactic acid. $300 to Geek Girls. What is your next category?
We'll go software for 300.
Software 300. Software 300. Daily double. This means that each team has a chance to get another 600 points if they so choose to get it correctly. What type of file do you have to export a 3D project to in order to print it?
Dean.
Printer Bros.
STL.
STL, is that correct? That is correct, actually. $600 goes to the Printer Bros. So Printer Bros are now in second, I believe, or no, they're in first. I'm sorry, I'm doing horrible with this. First is going to be, I think they're in first right now. Next category, Printer Bros.
We're gonna go support 300.
Support 300. What support do you use for a girly print? Geek Girls, what is your answer?
As the hip people say, skirt.
They're correct, sadly. They are correct. Another 300 goes to them. Next question, next category. We have two left.
You say it. You say it. No, you.
Software 500.
Software 500. What website do we use to find random but awesome models to print?
Ding.
Printer Bros, what is your answer?
What is Thingiverse?
Thingiverse, that is correct. Thingiverse is correct. Another 500. Now we have one last one for you guys to pick, which is going to be support 500. What support did we use to make our drones? J squared, what is your answer?
What is Raft?
Raft is actually correct. Yes, it's another 500 going to J squared. But now, we have the final Jeopardy. We have the final Jeopardy. The final Jeopardy question, are you ready? What does the term SLA mean when referencing to a type of 3D printing? Now, it's not going to be buzzing in. Teams converse for about 10 seconds to find the answer, and whoever gets the answer gets 400 points. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. J Squared, what is your answer?
We're gonna go with stereolithography.
Okay, Geek Girls, what is your answer?
Schla.
Okay. I respect the attempt. And Printer Bros, what is your answer?
SOA.
Okay, and the answer is, in fact, stereolithography. J Squared gets another 400 points.
And the winner is the Printer Bros.
Thank you. And that is all the time we're going to have for today. Please catch us next episode on Jeopardy.
So as the next group gets ready, you're going to notice today that we don't use PowerPoint. One of the things that we try to avoid is death by PowerPoint. And after 4 hours, it would be kind of mind-numbing. So they actually have to come up with a creative way to get across what they learned over the last 2 weeks. And so usually that takes the form of a skit. And it takes a little bit of creativity to make it interesting and be able to express those complicated ideas into about a 5-minute skit. Y'all ready?
We have our thing. This one?
It should be up.
It's not up.
Close it out.
Close it out.
Hi, we're the Water Quality Group, and this is the Night of the Living Bacteria. And I'm Quinn Freeman, and I'm playing a fish.
I'm Jimena Duran, and I'm playing a fish.
I'm Blakely Logsdon, and I'm playing a fish.
I'm Mikaela Semi, and I'm also playing the fish.
I'm Melissa Richberg, and I'm playing an algae.
I'm Christopher George, and I'm playing an algae.
I'm Austin Bardsley, and I'm playing a zombie bacteria.
My name is Kevin Vagia, and I'm playing zombie bacteria.
Hey guys, welcome to Swan Harbor. It's only the best place in all of the Chesapeake Bay, which happens to be the largest estuary in all of the United States. Where we currently are, the water's kind of brackish, so it's a little bit of salty, a little bit of fresh water, but as you get further down the bay, it gets a little bit saltier.
Yeah, I totally agree, except for these high nitrate levels, which the farm right next to us happened to put in our home, which is brought by the rain. Other than that, it's pretty nice here.
Yeah, it's a pretty great place to live. I wouldn't worry too much about the nitrogen. Nothing bad ever happens at Swan Harbor.
Wait, I can breathe? Why can I breathe here?
Because it's Swan Harbor.
What do you mean it's Swan Harbor?
Oxygen here that helps you breathe.
Well, I'm from Curtis Bay, and where I come from, we can't breathe. Let me tell you why.
Man, all this rain is washing in so much nitrogen and phosphorus. We don't get a lot of that here.
Yeah, all these nutrients are making it so easy to grow. These levels haven't been this high in years. Look how easy I'm able to bloom.
Wait. So is this about like eutrophication and stuff? So they're gonna like end up starving, bacteria's gonna eat them, no more oxygen?
Yes, but can I please go on with my story now?
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
Where'd all the nutrients go? I don't feel so good. We're starving.
We're feeding off the algae and depleting the dissolved oxygen content in the water.
The dissolved oxygen has reached only 3 parts per million, so the fish are suffocating.
Can you breathe? Because I can't.
No, I think you're being overdramatic. You might have strep or something. Our homies, the oysters, yeah, they're cleaning the ocean for us.
Where are they at, though? Because the air hasn't been clean since the sugar factory opened. I think I'm a move. Bye.
No, why are you swimming? Why are you swimming? Why are you swimming? Pause. You see this plastic over here? You humans need to stop polluting the ocean, because I'm about to die and suffocate because you don't know how to recycle, so do better.
So that's how it all happened, and now I'm glad I can be here and I can finally breathe.
Wow, that's a really scary story.
Yeah, but now that you're here in Swan Harbor, we're all good.
Thank God, I'm getting used to breathing now.
H2OMG, run!
It's happening again!
So as we set up for this one never works. So as we set up for the next group, there's another group of individuals I'd like to thank. If I could have all the members from the Oak Ridge Associated University stand up, please. There's actually a lot more of them than that are in the room right now. This team has been fabulous over the last 6 years, and they're actually outside making everything else happen that's running behind the scenes that you don't see in here. So, without further ado.
Welcome, audience, to the Math Modeling JSTI presentation on Bayes' law. Bayes' law is essentially when you are presented with
Whoa,
three
whoa, whoa,
options.
no. Too boring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be playing a game show. I need a volunteer from the audience. Young man in his 20s with the beard in the back, standing up. Okay, so you're going to pick a door. You pick door A. Behind one of these doors is a brand new car. Behind the other two doors are real-life goats. So you pick door A. I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you. I'm going to remove one of the doors that has a goat behind it. Here's your real-life goat. Now I'm going to give you the opportunity to switch which door you have chosen. Do you want to do that? Are you sure? Positive. I'm sorry, sir. You have won a real-life goat. The car was behind door B. Go.
You should have switched.
And even better, we could use an equation to model why you should have switched. If you had, you would have had a 2/3 chance of winning, but because you didn't, only 1/3.
Why would we use an equation when we could just run the trial multiple times and see that?
We should have did something in Excel. Probably about 1,000 trials.
But the equation is so simple to write out, so simple to do.
No,
Where you
out.
are, just leave.
All of you are wrong. All.
Completely. But what do you expect from boys? Anyway, all they would have had to simply do was make an run some trials, collect the data, and make an equation to solve the problem.
So let's say we have this nifty Statipod right here. And it has a bunch of options. You got this tension pin, this angle pin, you can decide which angle to pull it back. Problem with so many options, how can we figure out which options are the right options to make sure we hit that castle? It's full of people we don't like, so it's fine.
So it's simple. All we do is run a few simple trials, collect the data, make an equation, and from that equation, it will tell us which options to use, which options to change on our Statipod.
So you're saying we should extrapolate from the data to create a linear fit model?
Exactly.
All right then. And before we go on, we would just like to say we set the new JSTI record for ball farthest shot. We went 61 feet. We did break the catapult in the process and use 8 rubber bands, but all in the name of progress. So,
All right, clear the area, move off stage, move, let's hurry up, let's move.
This is a danger zone. We are now in an HPAC simulation where we'll be simulating a chemical attack in this computer.
HPAC stands for Hazard Prediction Assessment Capabilities. Using this simulation, we will be able to see the effects of an attack anywhere in the world in case one were to occur in the future. So, let's set up our own simulation.
We'll be attacking the small town of Aberdeen, Maryland.
What a lovely town.
We'll be using the very dangerous chemical of VX.
It's a nerve agent. It's really deadly.
We'll be using the maximum amount of this chemical, which is 100,000 kilograms.
That's a lot.
The weather outside seems a little bit sunny and kind of windy.
A little bit breezy, about 2 miles per hour from the north.
And we're going to be using 4 planes with 8 bombs each.
I'm a pilot, so I'll be flying too.
And what time should we do this?
Oh, let's do it. How about now?
Let's do this.
all right. So apparently, if this actually did go off in these settings they specified, 170,000 people would be dead, including these two, because those clean suits aren't going to protect them from VX.
Oh, God. All 3 of these scenarios just scrape the surface of what math can do. From games to national defense, math is always relevant. What we took away from this program is a new out-of-the-box way of thinking to further ourselves mathematically and logically. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Jack the Scientist. Right now we're facing a big problem, specifically 2 big ones. Our first problem is antibiotic resistance. More than 700,000 people die each and every year because of antibiotic resistance. The death toll due to antibiotic resistance will soon surpass that of cancer by 2050. Problem 2, warfighters. Our warfighters are coming face to face with biowarfare agents in the field. These include anthrax, melioidosis, glanders, tularemia, brucellosis. These are just a few of the top-tier biowarfare agents that put our warfighter in harm's way. There are more, and the number of agents will inevitably increase in the future. Our solution: find new antibiotics from extremophilic environments. These can range from extremely cold to extremely hot. Our mission: for our project to complete in just 2 short weeks, we wanted to create new environmental DNA libraries for antibiotic drug discovery. We start the experimental process by collecting many water and soil samples from Bush River with the hope of finding as many microbes as possible.
Hey yo, I'm water. I'm steady dripping. All on my water, my microbes be sipping.
After the water has been collected, it goes through a membrane filtration process. It is first filtered with cheesecloth, then to 5 microns, and finally down to 0.2 microns. Our microbes are now stuck in this filter, and it is filtered down to a safe drinking level.
I'm the filter apparatus. I filter the water to upgrade their status and make sure to remove all the dirt and debris. That's why I'm the most important step. Can't you all see?
The use of a pipette is instrumental to extracting environmental DNA. We performed operations of pipetting different volumes of water into microcentrifuge tubes to practice for the real thing in the laboratory.
I'm the pipe bit, big or small. I suck fluids up and make them fall. With their correct measurements, I got your back. Super pipe it abstract.
The filter wash buffer is integral to stripping the 0.2 micron filters of microbes. The solution acts as a bubbly detergent to clean the precious microbes off the filter.
I'm the filter wash buffer. I clean things up and make dirt suffer. I collect microbes and destroy oil. Their nasty, dirty plans I foil. I make things neater than Jim Taylor's beard. The water I leave cleanly cleared.
The goal of the entire experiment is to extract environmental DNA from the microbes to find new antibiotics using cutting-edge synthetic biology and medicinal chemistry techniques. Every step throughout is finding precious environmental DNA.
Hi, y'all. I'm the eDNA. I create the libraries, and I'm the most important asset to this discovery.
The eDNA is put into electrophoresis to ensure that there are enough base pairs to continue. We got greater than 40,000 base pairs. This is a huge amount of eDNA.
I electrophoresis, both positive and negative, using dye and eDNA, measure all the strands of the eDNA. Sitting on my DNA ladder, I count all 40,000 base pairs.
A microcentrifuge is used throughout with pulsing and centrifugation to distribute all the solution evenly and collect all of the liquid from the sides of the microcentrifuge tube. It also helps us separate our microbe and DNA pellets from the stuff that we don't want to keep.
But as the microcentrifuge, I'm the most important. I spin you, the eDNA, cleaning you and making you pure from lipids and organelles.
All my lipids.
The extracted eDNA is repaired and ligated into synthetic plasmid DNA. This combo of DNA is inserted into engineered, electrocompetent BTRA E. coli cells by electroporation. This pokes holes in the cells by electric shock to the DNA so that it can be taken up by the host cell and used effectively.
Boo. Oh my heaven. I didn't mean to shock you. I've come to electroporate. So I'm going to take this genetically modified E. coli, and I'm going to force you into it. But don't worry. They have perfectly eDNA-sized hole, so you'll get in safely. This prevents the bacteria eating the DNA and becoming antibiotic resistant.
After the electrocompetent BTRA E. coli and eDNA are brought together through electroporation, they are placed on a petri dish with lysogeny broth, agarose, and chlormepenicol, an antibiotic that allows only what we want to grow. If our experiment was successful, we would have colonies the next day. I can tell you that we performed exceptionally well because we expected only 1,000 clones and we received over 150,000 clones. The clones will be sent back to CFD Research Corporation with Kyle to be screened against top-tier biowarfare agents.
I'm a little petri dish, there's no doubt. Here is my plate and here is my pout. When I get all filled up, stop, put me in the incubator, then scrape me out.
We have colonies. My petri dish gel in my beads. We have colonies. Everybody pipette with me.
I can successfully say our mission has been accomplished. In just 2 short weeks, we were able to successfully create a metagenomic eDNA library using cutting-edge synthetic biology techniques. Our library of 100,000 plus clones has been shipped off to Alabama to be screened against priority biowarfare agents. They will be developed into antibiotics to protect our warfighter and serve the general population as a whole.
All right, everything's in order. Are you ready? No, I just happened to dress up professionally, only to accidentally stumble onto the stage filled with lights and cameras with a giant sign that says documentary. Ah, never mind. Okay, we're ready to roll.
Rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, and.
Whew, we've been waiting for the shipment grenades for a while. What happened? This box is so flimsy.
If only it was packaged correctly.
Going through this footage, this is most definitely not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm not here to narrate a documentary on broken things. I'd like to keep my reputation in one piece, thank you very much.
We can't fix Miss Sarcasm over here, but what if we protected our objects instead of having them break so that benefited us?
I have the perfect news for that. We have had some spicy action going on with our engineers. Sorry, breaking the fourth wall can be a little confusing sometimes. Let's rewind.
All right, guys, we need to make sure these packages are sent out before management bursts an artery.
Hey guys, you messed up the packaging.
Excuse my friend here, but could you please thoroughly test your packages after you construct them?
What are those voices? Time to scoop myself away from this timeline.
Okay then. In order to disembody voices, we need to make sure that all these packages meet other requirements.
I'll set up the water, drop, and shake tests.
That's good then. These tests will make sure that these packages stay consistent.
Should we use foam?
I say we should line with pink foam.
Everyone knows white foam is better.
The pink foam protects against static. The white one would fail. Actually, the pink one was originally intended.
Stop. Trying to sound smart. It's okay. Static electricity is what ruined the foam in the first place, so you do have a point.
Yep, we should line with pink foam.
Should we do the drop test first?
All right, perform the drop test.
Oh, the packaging survived.
That's good. On to the water submersion test.
The water submersion test. Pause. The water submersion test is supposed to put an object under a liquid to observe its durability. It reminds me of how we submerge our feelings to better conform to societal norms.
Conform to societal norms and packaging regulations.
I don't see any bubbles.
That's good then.
It survived the shake test.
All right then, open it up. The grading looks good. Send out the packages.
Right away, sir.
Let's fast forward and see how the warfighters are doing now.
Ooh, we've been waiting for the shipment grenades for a while.
How was the package?
Packaging's great. The grenade's still intact.
You're welcome.
Let's roll out.
Hoorah!
Pause. Hold up. Wait a minute. Military packaging. The name sounded confusing at first because it seemed like it would be self-explanatory, but military packaging is much more than we thought. Over these past 2 weeks, we've experienced forms of design processes that we've never seen before. So now, being exposed to all of this, I'd like to give a thanks to Hunter Dial, Jesse Everly, who are both our warfighters in this play, Jordan Colchin, Joshua Penaflor, and Sarah Bolt, who are our wonderful engineers, Kelly and Rupa, these narrators, they're always in a fight, and the fourth wall breaker. I'm not going to say my name. Play.
Thank you.
should just click on it.
While we're waiting for the next group to realize that they're actually up. Yeah, I would like to thank, again, Colonel Quinn touched on this earlier, but thank the parents and guardians and family members who actually allowed your students to come to this program and let them a chance to broaden their knowledge and broaden their horizons and get exposed to ideas and concepts that they may not have access to back home. So really, we're trying to develop a pipeline for the future, and it starts here. So we thank you for that. Are we ready?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're having a tale of the time-traveling fedora. Action.
Important scientific delivery from the Pony Express.
You're about 2 months, 3 days, 6 hours, and 17 seconds late.
My horse died on the way.
Well, it took you so long that you've been replaced. Now get out of here, please. You send these by wire and get her out of here.
Look at this new TV I just got. It was just $2,000, some chump change. Let's watch Marilyn Monroe in this.
Wait, why did you get the new TV anyways?
It was something easy. I was so tired of the radio. It was so boring. Oh my gosh.
Instead of watching Marilyn Monroe, why don't we watch a movie about STEM?
What's STEM?
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math.
I never heard of that.
Well, we're gonna need to if we're gonna figure out and appreciate why we have all the technology that we have.
Okay, let's just do this.
Let's go.
All right.
Whoa! Bro, why are you carrying around such a big camera?
Well, maybe if you were that short, you will be able to see me.
Bro, do you even GoPro? Like, really?
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Jamisha,
Yeah, what's up?
you see what happened at the park?
What happened at the park?
Hold on, let me send you a link.
I couldn't even see what was going on. What were those angles? I need you to get with the times and get an iPhone.
Hey, I went to Times. I have an Apple Watch.
Hey, was that Anna and Mookie?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Oh my goodness, they're already trending.
JSTI is a 2-week program for talented and engaged students. Let's move into the first research group, which is math modeling. What is math modeling? Math modeling is a description of a system using mathematical concepts and language. A model may help to explain a system and study the effects of different components and to make predictions about behavior. Now that we've got your attention, let's hop on over to see what dwells in our waters. The Water Quality Group tested water samples from multiple locations across the Chesapeake Bay using both a 2,400 and 3,900 Hack spectrometers and pH probes. Surfacing from the ocean, 3D printing has another story to tell. 3D printing is made up of a group of students who think in a different way. The group has to first think about the end product and then make it happen. The students were able to use 3D printers and learn how to CAD and experience 3D printing. While experimenting with heated plastic is fun, let's find out the biology behind antibiotics. Microbiology is the study of microorganisms. The students of JSTI dive headfirst into studying medicine and biological chemistry, allowing them to take a closer look at how antibiotics can be used to benefit the warfighter. Let's get your gears turning with robotics. The robotics group have been assigned with the task of finding parts needed to build vehicles and checking to make sure the systems work with the controllers. After seeing the technology firsthand, let's learn about the extreme conditions that come with military packaging. The military packaging group's mission is to make their devices waterproof and able to withstand temperatures up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. By doing this, they are using advanced technology such as soldering irons, circuit boards, 3D printers, and pocket lab monitors. The human mind was the first tool to create media. As time went on, people used drawings and paintings to portray a message. From then on, videography has continued to advance, growing more and more complex. Sending your brain to a faraway place lets bring it back home to visit our alumni.
My name is Sierra Stoddard Anderson, and I'm currently at Weber State University in Ogden, Utah.
So I think coming into JSTI, I had a knowledge about STEM, and I was excited to kind of explore more and see what I could do. But coming to JSTI kind of reinforced my ideas that I wanted to go into a STEM field and that I wanted to pursue the dreams that I had.
Let's look at our teachers who have impacted thousands of students.
Now I can use this personal experience to tell my students that there is a future in STEM. I've seen it. I've been a part of it.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation as much as we enjoyed making it. Thank you for watching.
So this has never happened in 6 years. We're about 30 minutes ahead of schedule. Unbelievable. So that was the high school program for the students. We're getting ready. After we take a short break, we're going to move into the teacher presentations and the middle school presentations. All right, so be back in your seats, please, in 15 minutes. Thank you. How are we looking? Can you tell how many views we got?
So I already pulled your PowerPoint up. Your, the brand new one, yeah. It's the latest and greatest one.
I'm just trying to keep all the mics back here so we don't.
They're gonna need mics.
Yeah, well, I'm just literally just right on this,
Okay.
just so they're not on the.
All right, and your clicker's up here. Everything's up here.
That just makes extra noise.
Did we test the clicker to make sure the clicker's working?
We can check it real quick. It should be.
We should be getting sound right now, unless you have the sound off.
The video will already be.
The sound's supposed to be here, right?
I hear it.
Okay. It's pretty quiet.
I had it down because I was afraid that video was going to move back around.
Thank
So I'll just leave it up at that level.
It's pretty.
I can bring it up more if we need to.
I mean, it's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It is a little quiet. So these speakers are also off above you.
Oh, so it's louder out there.
Yeah, so there's no feedback, but it is a little quiet. I can bring it up to
No, because it actually gets louder.
Yeah. Well, if it gets too loud, he'll turn it down. So you guys are already up, ready to rock. You're gonna do great. Everybody loves Star Trek.
So wonderful.
You look fantastic.
What sucks is that we have to come after y'all. Because y'all have such a great presentation.
Thank
It's
you
hard
for
to
making me
beat.
feel good even though. Thank you.
Will my video be already minimized?
So
Which one?
there's a couple videos that have to get played. So when you come up after who's ahead of you? So Joan, Jennifer, hers is online. So when you come up, you're gonna want to load your video so that it's ready. Pause it, get it ready, right? And then pull up your PowerPoint. And once it's up, he'll put it up there. You'll do your PowerPoint, get to that slide. You can switch over to the video, show the video, switch back to the PowerPoint.
Okay. And I moved it towards the very front.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw. Ooh.
Just do a real quick idiot check with the sound, just to make sure that I just like to ding the little sound thing to make sure it gives me just a reference of where we're at. So it's just I think that just comes in real quiet, and I can trim it from back there.
Yeah. So we go to yours, right? So you'll pull yours up. Right? Come up.
Just slow down and go up.
You have to quick pause it. And then you can pull your PowerPoint up. When you get to that point, so you'll get there. Boom, we're gonna do a demo.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could begin to find your seats, please.
Hello? Hello? Goodbye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention and please take your seats so we can begin. I don't need a mic. So we have three distinct programs here at JSTI. We have the high school program for the high school students, middle school program for middle school students, and we have teachers. When we bring a student in, we affect 1, maybe 2 lives because they will go back and tell their friends or siblings. But when we bring a teacher in and put them in the lab doing research for 2 weeks with scientists from ARL, ECBC, DITRA, we actually wind up giving them something they can take back, and they touch thousands of kids, and they reach thousands of kids over the course of their career. So that is a huge impact. The teacher program is probably the most important aspect of this, of what JSTI is about, trying to develop that pipeline. So these teachers have actually been in labs for the past 2 weeks, and they're going to give you a short briefing on what they've done and how they're going to use that when they go back to their classroom and what they can showcase to their students about the opportunities that are out there.
Hi, my name is Michelle Heimowitz, and I'm a math teacher from Glen Burnie, Maryland. How many of you have watched the television show Star Trek before? Did you ever think that you'd realize any of the technologies presented on the show in your lifetime? I know I didn't. I'm a huge fan of science fiction and the Star Trek universe, and I want to take you on a journey down memory lane to show you how much technology has improved over the years. Here you can see Captain Kirk talking to his ship from the surface of a planet using a flip communicator. In today's world, we use cell phones. Here's Lieutenant Uhura talking to Starfleet Command using her earpiece communicator. Today, we use Bluetooth earpieces. Next, we have Captain Picard holding an electronic device that they use on the show to collect and enter data, and also to sign off on important documents and pull up duty rosters. In our time, we use tablet computers. And finally, this is a Klingon using a food replicator to make an authentic Klingon meal. This was my favorite Star Trek technology. And today, we now have 3D printers. And we are closer than ever to being able to 3D print or replicate anything. Now I'm going to turn it over to my partner.
In Hawaii, they say aloha, but where I'm from, we say talofa. So talofa, everyone. My name is Brandy, and I'm from American Samoa, which is a small island in the Pacific. This year, we had the pleasure of working with mentors from the Army Research Laboratories, and we learned about additive manufacturing. And that is the technologies that is used to build 3D objects by adding layer upon layer of material. One of the student projects was to create a UAV, or a drone, through additive manufacturing. The process allowed us to learn a lot about fuse deposition modeling, how to read engineer drawings, AutoCAD using Fusion 360, slicing software, G-code, different 3D printers, and evaluating failed prints so it doesn't happen again. So thanks to ARL and our mentors, we learned more than what we expected in just 2 weeks.
My JSTI experience this summer has inspired me to want to apply computer-assisted design software so that I can encourage building and 3D printing robotic arms for NASA spacecraft, for creating 3D models of hurricanes and other storms using NASA data, and to develop a more practical understanding of the relationships between two-dimensional and three-dimensional objects. In order for me to reach these goals, I plan to write a grant so that I can purchase my very own 3D printer. I know that I will have to learn how to use the printer interface as well as to program and use the printer and put in the filament and learn how to fix it. But the most important lesson that I've learned from this program is not only that I need to become an expert in CAD and 3D printing software and hardware, but also that Google is my friend. And that you shouldn't give up. If you persevere, you can do anything.
Instead of shipping in supplies, 3D printing can help those in remote areas. And on the island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it doesn't get any more remote than that. With a 3D printer, I can make manipulatives for my students, which will help them learn instead of trying to use their imagination to figure out what I'm drawing on the board. The Samoan Islands was once called the Islands of Navigators, hence Moana. Using STEM and traditional knowledge, students can design a miniature paupau, which is a boat. And with a 3D printer, students can bring their designs to life. A 3D printer is another way for me to use STEM to help the students, once again, disconnect from their devices and reconnect with the heritage and our ocean. Speaking of oceans, we visited Johns Hopkins and we met with Dr. Kang, and this is one of his projects. It is a 3D printed flag that produces energy just by flapping. And I thought, wow, wouldn't this be great if it was in our coral reefs? We could use the ocean currents to monitor our coral reefs. There are so many possibilities with additive manufacturing. And as I looked at all the projects at ARL, I leave with a deep appreciation for the researchers. Because as our soldiers are out there protecting our country, the researchers here are working hard to better protect them. So thank you to our mentors, Christian, Josh, Fahim, Ellen, Ryan, Mark, and Jamie, and thank you to all of you who are responsible for this great opportunity. And I hope that this institute continues for many, many more years to come. In conclusion, Faftai Telelava, and as Spock said,
live long and prosper.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Minton, and I am a teacher at Houston High School in Germantown, Tennessee. During the last 2 weeks, I've had the opportunity to study molecular modeling and acetylcholinesterase reactivation. Keep in mind the lock and key model of an enzyme. The acetylcholinesterase is the lock, and the substrate it works with is the key. When functioning properly, the substrate will bond and the appropriate chemical reaction will occur, producing the product. Acetylcholinesterase is an extremely important and fast enzyme in the cholinergic nervous system. Its job is to break down your acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that helps with muscle control and muscle contractions. As you can see illustrated in the small circle, acetylcholinesterase has a very, very small active site, also known as the active gorge, or that keyhole. The research I have done with the Medical Research Institute of Chemical Defense focuses on the safety of our troops due to exposure to nerve agents. However, these chemical agents are also used against civilian populations. If you have been exposed to Agent B, please stand up. If you have been exposed to Agent F, please stand up. If you have been exposed to Agent D, please stand up. If you have been exposed to Agent E, please stand up. Here are the 3D models of the agents that you have been exposed to. Remember our lock and key model? The acetylcholinesterase is now inhibited by these nerve agents and the fight is on. These agents break apart and the aging begins. The time that it takes for each of these agents to covalently bond, and that bond is irreversible. The consequences are devastating. The fight against these nerve agents are time sensitive now that the acetylcholinesterase is inhibited. The reactivation needs to happen, and a group of compounds called oximes work against these agents. So our experiment, the substrate used, the acetylcholinesterase is inhibited by all of these nerve agents. We introduced acetylthylacholine, which is our substrate used for colorimetric determination. It is in the bottom picture here. It's got a yellowish tint. The robot in the top picture will mix the substances together along with our oxime, which is attested in high, medium, and low concentrations. Then it will be fed into a spectrophotometer to measure the light intensity in the substrate at 412 angstroms. The results. Column A here is going to be my constant because, again, it's got the yellow tint. H is the buffer solution. Now, column F is agent F. The oxime works in all concentrations. Those of you that were exposed to agent F, please remain standing. You have all survived. If you had a low, medium, or high concentration, do not sit down. For agents B, D, and E, if you notice, if you took the high concentration of these oximes, please remain standing. The rest, you may sit down. I'm sorry, you did not survive. The low and medium concentration for this oxime will not reactivate the acetylcholinesterase. Our graph for the results illustrates that for the high concentration oxime, this is effective for the reactivation of the acetylcholinesterase for all 4 of our agents. 9 samples at 5-minute increments shows an increase in the acetylcholinesterase reactivation, breaking that covalent bond, and reversing the effects of these nerve agents. Through this research opportunity, my students back home will get the exposure to real-world research while engaging in modeling both 2D and 3D and simulations to better understand enzymes with their structure and function. This research is both important for our troops and for our civilian populations. I want to thank Dr. Ronald Hand and Mr. Dale Taylor with DITRA, Ms. Marie Westfall with ORAU, the MRICD, and Mr. Rich Sweeney, the amazing mentor that I was set up with for the last 2 weeks, and each of you that have had a part in my growth here with the JSTI program. You all can sit down now. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Riley. I'm a biology teacher from from Carver High School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Okay. I know everyone has their phone, so could you please go to menti.com and enter the code at the top of the screen? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. Yeah, you gotta work today. Uh-huh. If you can't get it now, I'm going to go ahead. It'll be at the top of the screen for the duration of the presentation. Alrighty. So, my project title is the assessment of novel anticonvulsants in a rat model of nerve agent-induced seizures. Basically, mine was titled the long one that nobody could remember. Okay? So what I'm going to do is trying to help you all understand the basics of what my project was focused on. So, when you see the term nerve agent, or you hear the term nerve agent, what comes to mind? Go ahead and type it into your phone, and your terms will come up on the screen. We've got dangerous, nope, exactly. Military, deadly. So all of these are reasonable responses to what you receive or perceive when you see the terms nerve agent. We all had fun with that? Okay. All right. So again, here are some of the common reflections. We have fear and caution, Syria and Korea, chemicals and toxins, and these are adequate responses to the terms. But what exactly is a nerve agent? Because when I got here, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, so you're going to have to explain it to me. So, a nerve agent disrupts the transmission of nerve impulses. So that means that when we are in our nervous system, the signals that are being sent and received from one junction to another, they're impulses. And so what happens is the nerve agent will block the turning off mechanism. So basically, the signals are on a permanent position. So many of us know somebody who's had a seizure. So you know how they're continuously receiving these impulses. So they're no longer in control of their motor functions. So we are going to conduct an experiment. So we are all going to be in my brain, and I'm going to be exposed to a nerve agent. So what you are going to do is, every time you see the word touch, you're going to tap your neighbor. And I'm going to say this like I say to my students. You are going to tap. You're not going to hit. It's not going to be mean. You're just going to tap. Let's practice. Tap. Thank you. All right. Do not touch your neighbor. Don't touch your neighbor when you don't see the term touch, okay? Are you ready? All right. Alrighty, so I think we've looped. Were we all successful on touching our neighbor appropriately on the touch word? Okay, so you see how after a prolonged time, you are no longer able to keep up with the touch, correct? So that's exactly what is happening in your brain and in your nervous system when you're exposed to the nerve agent. All right, it's test time, yeah. All right. Oh man, I didn't clear it. All right. Well, which body system, pretend like you don't see this, which body system is involved in the response to the nerve agent? Thank you. It's again. Okay, you didn't see it again. What enzyme is essential and is inhibited by nerve agents? Thank you. You guys aced it. Okay. All right, so what am I going to take back to my classroom? So I am at a Title I school in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So my students, they don't see themselves excelling in the STEM in the STEM field. So what I hope to take away is to create a girl science club. I've already started. So I went to Winston-Salem State University and we had a women in science program. And so I've already asked the director if she could come over to my school and start a junior women in science program. I also hope to invite scientists and local researchers into my classroom, and so hopefully I can also tour their research labs. It's the big research triangle out there, so there's no shortage of scientists. And then I also hope to implement a white coat ceremony. So I know it sounds a little weird, but I feel like if my students have a pride in their education, that they'll further it and want to continue on and influence everyone else. Okay, thank you.
As we get the next teacher ready to present, can I have all the mentors in the room stand up so we can recognize you? Without these ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't be able to do programs like this because we have the ideas, but we need the experts, the scientists, the engineers who can convey that information not only to the teachers but also down to the middle school and the high school students, and they've done a wonderful job.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tyler Dufresne, and I teach AP Physics and Chemistry at Hornville High School in Booty, Louisiana. This week, I had the honor of working with my mentor, Dr. Jerry Caballo, and we researched bioaerosol detection in a complex background. Very fancy. So before we begin, we have to have an understanding of what are aerosols. Aerosols are simply a suspension of fine solid or liquid particles dispersed as a gas. A good example of this would be fog or smoke, or anything you can see in these cans. Many aerosols are considered to be flammable. And how many of you have heard of flour mill explosions before? Okay, when I think of a mound of flour, I don't necessarily think of it as being flammable. But when it is in the form of an aerosol, it is very flammable. So in my mind, as a high school chemistry teacher, how can I get my students interested in this? Why, yes, fire.
And burn. Burn. Okay, ready? Yes? Yeah. Okay. You need quite a lot of breath for this. So. Whoa! I wasn't ready for that. I thought it was just going to say again. Yeah. And it's not like, that's a bit scary. That's so cool. What is it, Grace?
So what makes flour so flammable like that? Well, when it's dispersed as tiny particles, it has much more access to oxygen. And oxygen is a necessary component for a combustion reaction. So when it's just in a mound, oxygen particles cannot easily get through. But again, as a fine particle surrounded by oxygen, it's quite easily able to catch fire. So why study aerosols? Well, our warfighters are in great danger, especially with biological and chemical warfare agents being used. I'm sure you've heard of chemical warfare going on in Syria. We must detect and contain the situation as soon as possible. And we have to inform the warfighter of that potential danger so they can put on the necessary personal protective equipment. And civilians must have time to develop an appropriate response. One of the such agents here is anthrax. So we have a biosensor, and we need to perfect it. We must be able to detect a low concentration of harmful particles from the many harmless particles in the air. And that essentially, you're finding the needle in the haystack. But also, you want to minimize false alarms. You don't want the sensor to detect every time there's an increase in every single particle, because then the soldiers would have to constantly put on that PPE, and eventually they're going to say, you know what, it's just another false alarm. And we want them to be ready and able to be safe at all times. So with my mentor, we started working with something called the Calliope. The Calliope has an ultrasonic nozzle where you can insert a solution and it will disperse it as a fine spray to make it an aerosol. And it goes into a chamber and we are able to pass it through the sensor and see if it scatters particles or fluoresces. If it fluoresces, it will send off a signal showing that it's some type of biological agent. You can do up to 5 aerosols at a time, and the Calliope allows you to replicate this over and over and over so you can perfect it. So here, you can see the Calliope on the right, and then the aerosol chamber on the left. So I would put a solution in here. One solution that we created was ovalbumin, very dangerous. Just kidding, it's egg whites. And we put it in, and we disperse it into the chamber, and it would go into the sensor. But because it's a biological compound, it would fluoresce, so the alarm would go off. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to detect biological compounds. We also tested sodium chloride, as you know, another very dangerous compound. I also had the honor, and it just happened to be perfect timing with the JSTI program, to work with a delegation from the Republic of Korea while I was here. They were testing their own homemade sensor. And on the left is one of the people from that delegation. The other 2 ladies are interns where I was. So again, this is me testing the Calliope. As I said before, we did ovalbumin and sodium chloride. We were able to get a lot of data from these tests. One such piece of data was just seeing the total concentration. As you can see, there was a huge spike around sample 70. And what that means is every 20 seconds, a new sample is taken. So at around 70 or 80, we could see a large spike in concentration, which is where the ovalbumin or the sodium chloride was introduced. We can also look at the size distribution, which can help you classify the agent that is present. In this case, sodium chloride has a particle size of 4 to 5 microns. So in conclusion, this experiment allowed me to accurately differentiate between harmful and harmless aerosols with the sensor. The alarm will sound if it's harmful, and we are able to let the warfighter know when to put on the PPE, and also to allow the civilians to develop an appropriate response. So as I alluded to before, how can I take this back to my classroom and make it interesting? Most of my students probably won't know much about aerosols. So I would definitely involve fire, but even more than that, have them talk about the properties of aerosols and research their impact on the real world through articles and videos and so on. So overall, I had a wonderful, positive educational experience. I'm very excited to get back to my school, share this information with my colleagues, and also get some of them, as well as my students, to apply for the JSTI program. I'm both humbled and grateful to have had this opportunity to work with such amazing teachers and mentors and scientists, and it's truly a dream come true. I would like to acknowledge DITRA, ORAL, RDECOM, ECBC, Mr. Dale Taylor, Dr. Ronald Hahn, and of course, a very special thank you to my wonderful mentor, Dr. Jerry Caballo. Thank you all so much.
Okay, if everybody can pull out their mobile devices once again and pull up the website nearpod.com. Near, N-E-A-R, not far, but near, pod, P-O-D.com. And we're going to give this a try. Okay, once there, you'll see 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and it will do login session. The session is live. You just need to put in the 5 code there, GLXQP. okay? And I'm going to start. It will also be at the top of the screen should you need to refer to that code to join in. My name is Jim Pendred. I'm a Howard County public school employee. I teach science there. I had the privilege of working with a group of students and looking at water quality. My task was to extract fauna from soils under the leadership of my mentor, Dr. Morgan Minyard. Think about this question briefly. State a connection you believe exists between problem solving and the scientific method. 2 to 3 word answer will do. I can also hide your names, keep it anonymous. Wireless is a little slow today, I believe. Oh, there we go. Okay, all at once. Okay. Nope. Uh-oh. I need more money. Sorry. Okay, so a question. Most curiosity in science starts with a question. All right, and I think there's a very good connection between those two. Okay. My belief, my connection between those is that the problems that we face today in the 21st century are not geared towards one domain, and we need a panel of experts to come together to solve real-world problems. So consider this. I swear it's not a plug for more money. All right. I'm going to pull on your artistic skills. I want you to respond to this question. What was or is your favorite grade school subject? And go all the way back to elementary school. If you recall, if you remember a teacher, if you think of your subject then. And let's test your doodling skills. Mathematicians. Biohistory, okay. All right, let me move on. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Science, very good. Okay. All right, well, I know my wife wouldn't stay married to me if I didn't believe in art, so I know this as STEAM, okay, and, taking on your artistic skills there in the previous slide, we have great artists, we have great scientists, we have great mathematicians, literary experts, okay, everybody to bring in, a great angle of knowledge to help solve problems that we have today. In the lab, I was testing more than one way to extract fauna from soil. There was a dry extraction method, which you can see in the lower left-hand corner. Okay, a very technical device with a soda bottle, beaker, and an aluminum pie pan. That was the idea, after all, too, was to gear the extraction method to a low-cost, low-tech procedure to bring it into the high school classroom. Okay, so what I was looking for was diversity, and the resource here comes from American Museum of Natural History. You can click on those sites, you can pull up a key and see what it looks like. I was hoping to be able to find a species that has not been discovered yet and, give it a nice name like Dale Taylor. All right. So while me and the student team were out on the Chesapeake Bay Snow Goose, we were looking for exactly that. We were looking for diversity and a group of organisms, and I was looking for that in the soil. Okay, diversity shows that there is a healthy environment, just like we see in this room. Okay, so if I pull this up, you should be able to see what I saw in the lab. Okay, take a look at the organisms that were pulled out. All right, they look larger than they actually appear. It was kind of pulling a needle from a haystack. These are microscopic organisms. Okay, definitely smaller than a grain of rice, thinner than a strand of hair. Okay, so taking a look at those assortment of organisms. Do you believe that that diversity indicated a healthy soil? Okay. So the answer was yes. We definitely were looking for that. If it was a slide that showed all of the same organism, that was all I saw, it would have, felt a little monotonous in the lab. But you can see what I have here. There are several vials that are holding an assortment akin to the dichotomous key, showing what different organisms in their different categories. I was able to pull them out. Essentially, that one feeds into another. You need the job of a very small to attribute to a very large, just like in a food chain. Okay, plants as producers, they move all the way up to the animals that feed on them, and the animals that feed on them, et cetera, up to pretty much humans. Okay, so what I want to do with this project is with Howard County and Howard County Conservancy and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. I'm a part of the Chesapeake Watershed Report Card Program. And what I also learned from working with the team of water quality students is that what I find in the soil, when it rains, all that stuff runs downhill and it runs right into the water that they were studying. So we were able to, combine our expertises and bring up an understanding of what needs to happen to have a healthy environment. Okay, and I want to thank DITRA, ORISE, and my bubble guppies in the back there. All right, and thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Joan Rome, and I am a science teacher at Hornville High School. I teach chemistry and biology. It's a little small town right outside of New Orleans. This is my first iMovie that I've created to present the material to you. It is a skill I can definitely take back to the classroom. I can now use it to implement my abilities to create a video in my lessons and help my students with videos as they present their material to me in their activities. There was no way to fit everything I've learned and absorbed in the 2 weeks that I've been here, but I tried my best to shove it all into a small video. So here's my story, the JSTI 2018 story. There are so many things that I could actually apply. I want to move away from paper and pencil and do more of the hands-on activities with my students. There were numerous things I could take back to the classroom. This is just to name a few. So many people to thank, and I hope I didn't leave anyone out. I met so many people at ECBC. They allowed me to watch them work. They took me on tours around the building. So I'm very grateful to those who were actually a part of my experience at the ECBC. Everybody at JSTI. And a very special thank you to Dr. Dan Angelini. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. My name is Jessica Itzep, and I am a chemistry teacher over at Taylor High School in Houston, Texas. I am very honored and grateful to have the opportunity to stand here today and talk about my experience in the JSTI program. I had the wonderful opportunity to work with Dr. Trevor Glaros, Dr. Elizabeth Dumacoupte, Dr. Philip Mock, and Mr. Daniel Carmody in the Bioscience Mass Spectrometry facility at the U.S. Army's Edgewood Chemical Biological Center, also known as ECBC. I was able to work on a mass spectrometer, which is essentially a scale that measures the mass of ions, and use it in the paper spray mass spectrometry technique, or PSMS, that they use in their lab for research. Through an electrical current, ions from our sample are passed from the paper to the mass spectrometer and gives off a peak or signal. How is PSMS useful? Well, it can be used in toxicology by having someone provide a sample of blood to test for specific narcotics. It is very time efficient. There is no need for prior sample preparation. And on the field, warfighters are able to identify chemical warfare agents in their environment. It sounds very efficient, but what researchers are trying to do is create a bridge between chemistry and biology. Cells cannot be loaded on the paper because of their size. Think about trying to measure the Titanic on your home scale. That wouldn't be very effective. But what we could do is take a part of that ship and weigh that instead. This is where the cell's proteins and peptides come into play. Research is currently being done to create a paper spray that would allow for the protein to be stable enough to read on the mass spec. It is an ongoing project in ECBC, and I had the amazing opportunity to work on it. In my project, I was able to create solutions that would sustain proteins and found that the lower concentrations, which are circled in red, were the ones that allowed for proteins to not crash out due to the very high current passing through them. It was amazing being able to contribute to an ongoing project that could definitely leave a mark on the world. As a full-time teacher, it is difficult to be a part of ongoing research, but JSTI gave me the opportunity to fulfill that desire. Now that I head back to Houston to start a new school year, I want to take this opportunity and experience and let my students know about the vast opportunities there are in the STEM field. I plan to build relationships with researchers in Houston, such as those in the Texas Medical Center, MD Anderson, and other facilities, and have them come in as guest speakers to our school. I also look forward to sharing my experiences with colleagues and serve as a resource to them. Lastly, I will also suggest this program to colleagues and students in my school, district, and Houston area. Thank you so much to Dr. Trevor Glaros for allowing me to take part in his ongoing research project. Thank you to Dr. Elizabeth Dumacupt, which is in the audience, and Dr. Philip Mack, which is also he's also in the audience. Mr. Daniel Carmody, for their time, mentorship, and for making this amazing research experience. I also would like to thank the Defense Threat Reduction Agency for this opportunity, Oak Ridge Associated Universities, ECBC, and JSTI. Thank you.
Hello. I'm a superbug, known as multi-drug resistance. What does that mean? You may not know this, but I followed you home. I could have been picked up in the store, school, home, hospital, or a number of other places. Maybe I'm a problem, maybe I'm not. So what makes me so great? You, young lady, what do you think makes me so great? Thank you. She thinks I'm a superhero. What about you, sir?
I don't think antibiotics will work on me.
He doesn't think antibiotics will work on me. Well, I'm a bacteria and I have the ability to give you an infection. Does anyone know what an infection is? Okay, I'm scared of the answer, so I'm gonna skip this. An infection is a disease caused by microorganisms that invade tissue. The common infections that we know of are the flu, strep throat, and the common cold. So what do when we try to fight an infection? We try to disinfect the area, use a Band-Aid, but if it gets really bad, we seek an antibiotic. And do you know what my superpower is? I have the power to resist most antibiotics. It's great, I know. Most antibiotics are like kryptonite to other bugs, but me, they don't bother me at all. Now, let me tell you why this research is so important to you. Antibiotic resistance results in thousands of deaths each year. You're going to have to find a new antibiotic because I'm slowly becoming invincible. Superbugs are on the rise. because there aren't many antibiotics left that can fight us. Well, there may be one superhero that is able to defeat me, and they are called actinomycetes. Actinomycetes, then do you want to know what the funny thing is? An actinomycetes is bacteria just like me. And do you know where many of these actinomycetes come from? They come from an area known as the air biome. Actinomycetes are bacteria that make antibiotics. Multi-drug resistant pathogens are on the rise, and actinomycetes are a key in the rise against these pathogens. As my arch nemesis, they can be found floating around in the air, a lower atmosphere area known as the air biome. There are scientists out there like my mentor, Dr. Gibbons, that are looking for new ways to defeat me by looking for new antibiotics. They take samples out of the air, collect them, grow them in the lab, and test them to see if they can defeat me. I'll give you a few examples. They isolate the actinomycetes on 3 different mediums. Now, what is a medium? A medium is just another name for food that will allow the real actinomycetes to grow. They're picky eaters, so they have to be fed something called ISP. Now, the first ISP they tried to use was called ISP-3, and it was oatmeal-based, composed of complex carbon sources. No, not Quakers. And then that next ISP they used was called ISP-4. It was chemically defined minimum media composed of mineral salts and starches. No, not more than salt. Now, I'm a little worried about that ISP-2. It's composed of a rich medium made of proteins and yeast extractions. Based on the data collected, the actinomycetes really like this ISP-2. And if they keep feeding those guys a healthy diet, they may get strong enough to defeat me. May. I'm a little worried, but I still think they have a lot of work to do. If scientists keep investigating, they may discover a strain of actinomycetes that may make an antibiotic that's able to wipe out me, my friend E. coli Johnson, Klebsiella lewis, Staphylococcus harrison, and the beautiful superbug MDR. What's the word to do without me? Let me calm down. They haven't beat me yet. Meanwhile, I'm coming home with one of you tonight. Who's it gonna be? Open up your envelope, because one of you picked me up in your freezer. If you have the all red one, I hope you have Netflix. If you have the all red one, stand up. If your pills are all red. You want to know what works better than hand sanitizer? Soap. I want to thank my mentor, Dr. Gibbons, O'Rise, Detra, Dale, and everyone else that was a part of this great experience. My fellow cohorts, JSTI, Edward, our teacher lead, and everyone for being here today. I hope you all enjoyed.
Good morning. You can do better than that. Good morning. My name is Manuel Cox of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools in Miami, Florida.
I am Amanda Martin from Eagle Valley High School and Colorado Mountain College.
First of all, that was a hard act to follow. But one thing as a teacher that you understand is that you can't communicate an idea to an audience unless you know your audience. And one thing most audiences have is a common thread. They understand music. So here's a little test. Follow along if you know the words. War. Huh. What is it good for? Okay, y'all kind of old. Beautiful song, but not quite accurate. At the Military Packaging Department of Edgewood Chemical Biological Center, they actually do something that helps all of our war fighters. They take a product and get it to the war fighters in perfect condition. No matter what the temperature is, no matter whether the conditions are dry or in the ocean, the device gets there and it works. We have a video that's going to show you the steps that lead from idea to application. Thank you.
This is a phenomenal project that my partner Manuel and I are planning on taking directly into our classrooms next year. We're going to use it in our engineering design classes with the focus on 3D printing, our electronic engineering class with the focus on circuits, our physics classes, and we can even apply it into our math classrooms. This project, we would like to thank our amazing mentors for developing and walking us through every step of the way. Namely, we have Debbie Brooks-Harris, we have Bob Pazda, David Vincentori, and Mary Kay Peck. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Robinson, and I'm a high school biology teacher at Tacoma Academy in Tacoma Park, Maryland. When I filled out the application for JSTI's teacher program, I had no idea what I was signing up for. Quite honestly, I saw the program, I was searching during the summer for something to do, and then I saw one that would allow me to do some research. And I just felt like I'd look cool wearing a lab coat. I mean, who doesn't look cool wearing a lab coat? Look at my buddy Jim, where is he? He looks cool wearing a lab coat, right? But seriously though, we all know that science is only fun when you actually get to do it. So, lab work and hands-on activities, as teachers, we know that this really brings science alive. So I decided to look for a summer research program that would give me a little lab experience, give me something else to brag about to my colleagues, and would give me some professional development that I could share with my students when I went back. Well, lo and behold, I received a response from JSTI. And I was like, this guy. Yes! Through this program, I was given the opportunity to play with some of the most expensive equipment used in research. Let me put this in perspective. How many of you have ever driven an Aston Martin? Raise your hand. No one? Thought somebody would be in here. We're out in Aberdeen. Well, now that's a really nice car. Some of them can cost almost $500,000. But ladies and gentlemen, I give you the transmission electron microscope. This is the Aston Martin of laboratory microscopes. This machine can cost almost $500,000. And I was able to operate one for over these past 2 weeks. The program paired me up with one of the most amazing researchers that I've ever met. I get this one from my son, so let me think about it. She's the only researcher that I've ever met. Tracy Hamilton, my supervisory biologist and mentor, is awesome. At the research center, I was able to use equipment that many of my high school colleagues and teachers might not ever get a chance to use. Like this guy, the critical point dryer. Now this machine is magic. I've always liked magic, so let me show you a trick that I've been practicing. You've all seen this one, right? Magician fills a cup with water, puts something over top of it, taps it, says some magic stuff, right? Y'all ready? Taps it, and then Well, I haven't quite perfected this one, but this machine here can turn liquid into vapor right in front of your eyes, and I witnessed it. When I saw that, I thought how I could dazzle my students if I had one of those machines in my classroom. It's used in the dehydration process for specimens that can later be seen under the scanning electron microscope. I also got to use this machine. It's called an ion beam coater. This machine is so powerful that it can shoot the ions off of a piece of metal. All right, now let's just think about that. This machine can shoot these guys off of a piece of metal. And that's a very powerful machine. But then finally I got to, well, actually I used this one first, the microtome. And everyone in the lab was bragging about how well and neat that I cut my specimens. Maybe they were just making me feel good, I don't know. But this is the scanning electron microscope. I mean, I read about them, I taught about them. I had never seen one, I'd never been in a room with one. And lo and behold, I was able to use one. This was me. I was like a kid in a candy store. The researchers that I was working with are studying the damage that sulfur mustard gas does to the cornea of the eye. I mean, that stuff is serious. It's been used by some nasty people around the world since World War I and was believed to have been used in Syria recently. Do you know that the cornea has 3 layers? This is a picture, an image of the innermost layer of the cornea, captured by the scanning electron microscope. And this is how the cells are arranged in hexagons in a normal eye. After exposure to sulfur mustard gas, you don't even see the shape of the cells anymore. We wouldn't know this without the technology that they're using over there at the Research Institute. I found those images myself using the SEM, which can magnify specimens over 10,000 times. I'm telling you, this is some state-of-the-art stuff. So hopefully through the research being done by these researchers and scientists and using these tools, better therapeutics and safeguards can be developed for our troops. Now, 2 things I'm taking away from this experience. 1, research and laboratory science is cool. You might not know this guy, but I can go back and share my experience with my students so they can become more excited about STEM. 2, the military is an excellent option. I mean, there are so many programs for young people that will help them find a rewarding career and allow them to do some really cool stuff. I wouldn't have known about any of the opportunities or any of the cutting-edge research that's going on out here had it not been for JSTI and the researchers that volunteered for this program. So I just want to say thank you to my mentor, Tracy Hamilton. She's not here, she had a family emergency. And her staff, as well as to the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, Oak Ridge Associated Universities, and the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Chemical Defense. I'll be sure to take what I've learned back to my students and colleagues when I return to my school. Thanks again to everyone who made this possible, and to all the teachers who I experienced this with in my cohort that helped make this an experience that I'll never forget. Thank you.
So that is, I believe that's all the teacher presentations, but we do have one more? From Prince William, right? Yeah. So what we did this year, we did something we haven't done before in the program. We sponsored a 3-day workshop in Prince William County in Virginia on synthetic biology, targeting 25 teachers at one time. So that's pretty much the entire biology faculty in one county.
Here. Hello, my name, I didn't know I was going to be that loud. My name is Joy Clark. I'm a little bit envious. I was a participant in JSTI last year, and I was contacted about being assisting in the program that he just mentioned this past week. But I was a little envious watching all of the presentations from this year. I don't miss the anxiety that came with having to put together that presentation, but it brought back so many memories of the positive experience. I cannot tell you, after sitting through this again and doing what I did this past week, I really appreciate whose ever idea it was to connect classroom teachers with people that are in the research field. From watching it in JSTI last year and the teachers that I worked with this week, it's really an integral part of having the next generation be connected to what the possibilities are. And BioBuilders, like he said, it was a 3-day workshop. There were 20-some teachers. I was the go-between. They were doing, working alongside one postdoc researcher and she's actually a former high school teacher, but she's working at George Mason University. And they were basically doing synthetic biology. How many of you know what that is? Wonderful, that's awesome. But basically, it takes biology and combines it with the field of engineering. And you look at it from a problem-solving perspective. And at the beginning of the workshop, many of the teachers, you could tell it's not something they were comfortable with. And the postdoc researcher, you know, she's a college professor, so a lot of times she would introduce topics and talk about things that they were like, wow. But she made it so that they could understand. So there was a lecture portion, and then there was a lab portion where they actually got to practice what the topics entailed. And over the course of the 3 days, the teachers actually, much like what you do at JSTI, they produced a project at the end that applied the concept. So it was an abbreviated version, but based on what the feedback I got from the teachers, they were very appreciative of the opportunity. I mean, it was brief, but very important exposure to seeing what happens in the research field and where we can take it. I can't tell you from my perspective and from theirs, all of the teachers that I see involved, this is an amazing opportunity for us to see where research can lead. I mean, you don't have to be a lot of the concepts, some people might think that they're over their head, but all of the exposures that have been happening from the middle school through the high school teachers, I mean, it's an amazing experience, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be involved in this aspect. I saw some of my teachers from last year that are also still involved, but JSTI has that impact on you. Once you do it once, it's like, what else can I do to stay involved? But I appreciate them for asking me. It was a great experience. The teachers really came away with something they said they could take back to their classrooms. So thank you very much, Dale, and all the people that were involved in BioBuilders, and anybody that's interested in, you know, doing something like that. You can look it up. It's a website. It's called biobuilder.com, where there's information and labs that can be used if you access the materials.
So now we are going to get ready to bring up the middle school students who have been patiently waiting for about 2.5 hours for their chance to shine. We got them coming? Yep, we're here. All right. And so the middle school students have been here since Sunday, and we have 4 groups of them. They've been working in chemistry, drones, Raspberry Pi computing, and what's the 4th one? 3D printing, yes. We ready?
One sec. I just got to turn this on for them.
And all of our middle school students, their ages from 11 to 13, they're in 6th grade and going into 8th grade. So we have you'll see some, when I looked at some of these young people, I was like, I'm getting really old, or they're really short. Or both. Ready?
Yep. That's a mic right there.
Our story begins with a young boy who's getting ready for bed one night and he's having some trouble.
Oh, what's wrong, Sonny boy?
I want to turn off the lights, but I'm too comfortable to get out of bed.
Oh, I'll do it for you now, but tomorrow you'll have to find a way to do it yourself.
Fine.
The next day, the boy and his sister go to the computer store to find a solution to his dilemma.
What can I use to turn off my lights?
Hi, do you need help finding anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something to help me turn off my lights without having me getting out of bed.
Well, you could use the MacBook Air, or we have lots of Dell computers.
Oh my God, I love Adele. Her song is my favorite.
Not that Adele, you know the Dell computer.
Aw.
Hey, what's this?
Hello.
Whoa. What?
Did you just talk? What are you?
I'm a Raspberry Pi.
That's an awesome dessert. It goes great with ice cream.
Yes, but not that kind of pie.
I know what kind of pie you're talking about. 3.14159265.
No. That's also a different pie. Not as tasty.
Then what are you?
I'm glad you asked. I'm a Raspberry Pi. A Raspberry Pi is a credit card-sized computer that plugs into your TV or monitor, keyboard, and mouse. It is a capable little computer that can do many electronic projects. It also does many things that your desktop PC does, such as spreadsheets, word processing, browsing the internet, and playing games. It also has high-definition video.
I need a new computer. Can you help me with that?
Well, what do you want to do with it? We have lots of Macs and Dell computers.
Can I program you?
No.
Can I make you turn on lights and buzzers?
No.
Can I turn you into a weather sensor?
No.
Can I turn you into a piano?
No.
Why not?
Our code is private. You'll break us. You don't know what you're doing.
But
Back to us. We know what you need.
but
We make our computers. We have the way we want, and you'll like it.
But I want to program something so
Okay.
I could turn off my lights without me having to getting out of bed.
How could we do something like that? You can do that with us.
who said that?
Hi, I'm Scratch. Like for an itch? Only if you have an itch for learning how to code. I am a visual programming software that uses block techniques to run your codes. With Scratch, you can code interactive stories, animations, and even games. Almost anything you'd want to do.
My name is Python.
Are you a snake? Will I get bitten?
I'm not that kind of snake. You will only get bit if you have a thirst for knowledge of coding.
Then what are you?
I'm a high-level programming language used for general purposes. I'm the #1 used programming language in the world, even over Java.
Wow, so cool. I can use you to program stuff and solve problems.
Is there anything else I can add on?
I can wear lots of cool hats.
But computers can't wear hats.
That's true, but the hats I'm talking about are fun to play with. Actually, I have a few of them right now.
Hello, I'm the Sense Hat. I can tell you the temperature in Fahrenheit and in Celsius. You can also check the humidity, and you can play games on me, and I could do many other things.
Howdy, y'all. I'm the Piano Hat. I'm best friends with Pi, because when I'm connected with him, I become a piano, and you can play and write music.
Hiya, I'm Camera. I can take 1, 2, or as many pictures as you want if you code me to. I'm attached to the port on top of Pi. You can take me wherever you want and take pictures with me up high or down low.
You can program me to flash lights in the form of messages and pictures. I'm the best hat there is.
No, you're not. I'm better.
Well, you don't make a lot of sense.
Last time I checked, I don't think you can make beautiful melodies like I do.
Well, can you make a smiley face out of lights and make it fade into messages?
Whatever. Well,
Here, let me show you what I can do. Everyone in the audience, get ready to smile because we're going to take a picture. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
And don't
Forget
the best buy is a Raspberry Pi.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to JSTI's Got Talent 3D Style. I'm Hayden Case from Nevada, and I'll be your host today. Let's meet our judges.
I'm Aricelis West, and I'm from Philadelphia.
Hi, my name is Britt McNeil. I'm from Florida.
Hi, my name is Caden, and I'm from New Jersey.
My name's Devin Kennedy. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you, judges. Now let's bring out our first contestants, the 3Ds.
Hello, I'm Chase Brown, and I'm from DC.
Hi, I'm Arnold Vatt, and I'm from Virginia.
Now let's talk about printing.
But not just printing.
It's 3D printing.
Here's how you spell printing correctly. P is for printing after getting on the bus. R is for race car that Ray taught us.
I is for I made a turtle with a 3D pen. N is for Neil, who did a 3D scan.
T is for Tinkercad software that we used. I is for impossible box made from this dude. N is for nonstop. N is for nonstop. That's how we roll. G is for geometry. Made in 3D.
You did good. Thank you, guys. Now let's see what the judges think.
I think you are very brave for coming up here, and I loved your act.
I think you're very brave for coming here, but I did not enjoy your act. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that was just the best. Yeah.
Wow. I think you two don't understand something. This is JSTI's Got Talent. Therefore, you need talent to be on the show. And you might have it. I bet you'll find it someday.
Okay, let's give these guys a quick round of applause. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage our second contestant of the day, the comedian.
Hi, my name is Samantha. Hi, my name is Samantha. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I'm 12 years old. Do you ever get angry for no reason? No? Well, I do. I mean, I don't, but... Except for when the 3D printer stops working, then I have to start it all over, again. Okay, that was a bad one. Why did the race car take so long? Because the printer didn't work. Okay. Well, when we finished, everyone's fingers started popping off.
Why?
I'm not sure why, but we were using the slicer program. Oh, that reminds me. The printers we were using were called the Finders, but they lost a lot of filament from all the failed projects.
Thank you, Samantha. Now let's see what the judges think.
I was very amused by your comedy, and I hope that you build it up to make it into a career.
I think you're very funny, and I hope that we can see you in the future.
Oh, wow. Well, I liked your comedy on 3D printing. And by the way, it's not 3D printing, it's additive manufacturing. Please get your facts straight.
Okay, let's give her a quick round of applause. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage our final contestant of the day, the magician.
Hi, my name is Samuel Grooms from Maryland. I will be doing magic. So this is an axle that I use for my 3D printed race car. I will now make it disappear. Snap, it disappears. Snap, it's back. Snap, it disappears. Snap, it's back. Now I have a cube from my 3D printed cube and my 3D printed ball, and I will now make the ball go into the cube. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Samuel. Now let's see what the judges think.
I
I think you were great, but one thing I must say is practice a little more.
Practice.
Man.
I think you have great potential if you just practice, 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 just practice.
Okay, thank you. Now let's give him a round of applause. Now, before I leave today, I would like to give a special thank you to some of our sponsors. So, from ORISE, I'd like to thank Marie Westphal and Kathy Kenner, from DITRA, Dr. Han and Dale Taylor, and I would like to give a big thank you to Hartford Community College for letting us use their facilities, and to Hopkins Extreme Materials Institute for giving us a tour and showing us some great stuff. Now from us to you, a huge thank you.
Can't get it out.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Thank you. Please tune in the next episode to see who the winner is.
Good job.
Mr. Neal, what happened?
As we wait for the next group, you can kind of see with the middle school, they're doing technology that only a couple years ago that was just reserved for universities. Raspberry Pis were invented to get young kids coding again, but they found a market with guys my age picking up and remembering their youth. And 3D printing is just now getting to be affordable where they can actually buy them themselves and do it at home. So the young students' ability to learn is only limited by our ability to give them the resources. It truly is. And I think they've done a great job, and we're getting ready to do the chemistry group next.
Who's my other microphone back?
It's Kailash and
It's August 3rd, 1954, in Moscow, Russia. In a secret laboratory, a mad scientist is experimenting with different dangerous chemicals to make an antidote for his friend's condition. He has red nose disease, and it has to go back to normal.
I really hope this works. I need to helium before the Bill Nye Marathon. Mr. Ivanov and I watch it together every year.
The scientist is now running to the restaurant where he and his friends have plans to eat. Everyone is now at the restaurant. Mr. Ivanov has already taken the antidote.
Here's to curing Mr. Ivanov. Cheers!
What do you guys recommend?
I don't know. I think I'm going to get some H2O.
Huh, maybe I'll get some H2O too.
Don't do that. You'll probably die.
I think I'm just gonna get the. What? Why are you staring at me? Is my nose better?
Sort of. Here, take a look.
The mad scientist runs out. Police officers enter the room.
What seems to be the problem, Mr. Ivanov?
The mad scientist gave Mr. Ivanov the antidote, but obviously it didn't work.
And look, he left some of the antidote here.
Perfect. We can take that to the lab with us and figure out what it is. I'll call a detective and see what she has to say.
The cop enters the restaurant again with the detective.
I'll take it to the scientists. They can find out what chemical caused all this.
The detective met with the scientist, and they concluded on the procedure that they're going to take.
First, we need to test to see what the cation of the chemical is. The cation is the positively charged ion in the chemical. It's also the first part of the chemical equation. We'll start with the white powder tests.
The scientists conducted a solubility test, then a conductivity test.
We found the chemical to be soluble, so it's probably an alkaline metal. Also, our solution ended up to be a great conductor. Seems like our cation has a positive charge.
I think we're going to need more information than that. Could you do any more tests to make a more precise result?
Sure, we'll conduct a flame test. Seems like our situation is heating up.
The scientists dissolve the powder into a solution and burn it over a flame. They come up with a result.
When we burned our solution over the flame, we found that it burned purple, so we can conclude that the cation is potassium.
Now we need to find the negatively charged anion, so we can tell what the chemical is.
The scientists are now conducting the bubble test. They have the potassium compound, and if it fizzes when they pour the acid in, they know that the compound used is potassium carbonate.
Because our solution fizzed when it was mixed with the acid, we know it's potassium carbonate. Detective.
Did you find out what the chemical is?
Yes, it's potassium carbonate, so the effect should wear off in about an hour. Do you mind passing on the message?
Of course not. The scientists found out that the chemical was potassium carbonate and it should wear off soon. You should tell Mr. Ivanov.
Of course.
All right, let's go.
We are now out on the streets where the mad scientist is on the run. Both cops are looking for him.
Where could he be?
What was that?
There he is.
Stop in the name of the law.
Never.
You're under arrest for felony evasion and use of illegal substances.
The mad scientist was thrown in jail, and Mr. Ivanov was able to live the rest of his life without a hideous purple nose. Guess they never got to watch the Bill Nye Marathon after all. Bill.
No, don't play.
My name is Hira, and I was the narrator.
I'm Tyler, and I was one of the scientists.
My name is Dominic, and I was the cop.
My name is Sean, and I was the mad scientist.
My name is PJ, and I was a scientist.
My name is Jean and I was a detective.
My name is Joy, and I was a cop.
My name is JC, and I was a witness.
My name is Evan, and I was Mr. Ivanov.
My name is Kailash, and I was a witness.
We are Forensic Chemistry, and this was Science on the Run.
We had a great time this week, and special thanks to
Dale Taylor, Marie Westfall, and Dr. Hahn.
The staff who helped us, and
the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, and
Oak Ridge Associated Universities for making JSTI possible. Thank you.
They're off right now, so just make sure.
It's a great trend.
So while we're waiting for the next one, you get to look at my pretty face again. So this is our 6th year doing this, and each year we keep getting a little bit better and a little bit bigger. We started off in 2012 with only 24 students. This year we're up to 100 students and 12 teachers. And honestly, we've been able to do that, again, through all the people that I thanked earlier. There's one person I haven't thanked yet, and he came in late, was Dr. Eric Moore. Eric. So Dr. Moore has been one of my mentors since I came to DITRA, and now he's the technical director for Edgewood Chemical and Biological Center. And Eric is responsible for all those, almost half the teachers that were on stage, allowing them into his labs and being able to get that research experience. And I can call on Eric because I know he's never at a loss for words.
Okay, so quickly, first and foremost, also I'd like to thank my Director of Engineering, Michael Bay, as well. So Mike, so Dale does this every year to me as well. He puts me on the spot. So I just want to say a couple of things. First and foremost, these teachers, man, I wish I had teachers like this when I was coming up. Guess I'm getting old now because I'm looking at these teachers saying they're awesome. Also, parents, give yourselves a hand, please. It is critical when we look at the nation's STEM workforce in the United States government today, less than 4% of the government STEM professionals are 30 and under. And so there's a huge gap, a huge void, but hopefully, maybe this young lady right here might be working for us one day. You want to be ECBC director one day? You can have my job. It might be open in about 2 years. You never know, you never know. But with that again, and the young people in this room, I'm very, very, very encouraged by what I'm seeing. I know that you're going to do great things. We're here to continue to work with you and help you. This program has expanded significantly. I was at DITRA before, and I saw it when it was in its infancy, so to speak, and it's getting bigger each year. And so ECBC, the other Army Research Laboratory, Medical Research Institute, Chemical Defense, there are a lot of assets up here at the Aberdeen Proving Ground area, and we are going to continue to work with this program. So thank you all, and congratulate yourselves for this hard work that everyone's done.
So what did the military use the drones for?
We're using them for scouting landscapes for the combat military.
Well, the Army used the drones for gathering information.
We also use them for dropping bombs.
The Army also used the drones to take pictures of the battlefield without getting soldiers hurt. I wonder what drones will evolve into.
You better watch so you can do it when you get older.
Hey girl, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm at my grandmother's house and she's cooking whatever's in that pot.
Ding dong.
Okay.
Man, I sure am sorry I put all of those male people out of business.
These drones can do the work of like 50 mailmen in literally half the time. You okay?
No, you took my job.
Anyway, you got mail.
Grandma, there's a fire!
I'll go call the fire department. Hello?
Hello, this is the fire department.
Oh, there's a fire. Please come. Please help.
Okay, I'll be right on my way with my drone to put out the fire.
Oh. What's that? Don't you use hose?
I can use my drone to put out the fire by dropping water.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Wait, hold on. Where's my granddaughter? I'll go call the police. Hello?
911, what's your emergency?
I lost my granddaughter.
I'll be right on my way to go find her with my drones.
All right, thank you.
I better check out my crops. Good thing I have this drone. They look good.
I'll just use this drone to water them and put more plants down. Wait, is that a little girl on my farm? What you doing there? Are you lost?
Yes. I can't find my grandmother.
Well, is that her right there?
There you are. We've been looking for you this whole time.
Grandma!
No, get away from me. Where have you been?
I was looking for you.
Let's just go on a vacation since we don't have a home.
Okay.
You said you were going on vacation?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to pay.
Okay. Just follow me.
Okay.
No, my job is very important because of trying to keep the whales from going endangered. And also, it's very hard because of big storms and angry whales sometimes. Oh. Okay.
Is that a whale or a shark?
Well,
Grandma, you're getting your...
In my division, we are working to develop drones with multiple sensors. It's important that we make them with rescuing abilities so then they could save people who's trapped in mines or caves.
Yes, basically in my division, we're developing infrared sensory so you can pick up locations of people that are trapped using their heat signatures.
We'll make lives safer with drones in no time.
The more you know.
Okay, guys.
Don't try this at home.
I would like to thank Mr. Lewis, the Picture King, Mr. Mark, and Miss Lawanda.
I would like to thank ORAU.
I would like to thank DITRA.
I would like to thank Miss Marie Westfald.
I would like to thank Dr. Hahn. I would like to thank Dr. Vosberg.
I would like to thank Dale, Taylor, and anyone else we left out.
And for any of you that are interested in the future, there you go.
Get my pot.
So that concludes the presentations. So what we're going to get ready to do next is we're going to have our keynote speakers. And what we've done since 2014 is I brought alumni back that have been participants in the program to act as near-peer mentors, because they can understand and talk to the students on a level that I can't, that our mentors can't, because they're going through the same things that the students are going through about college, life. And so since 2013, we've brought back near-peer mentors. And the first young lady that's going to come and speak to us today is Sierra Stoddard Anderson, who is a 2014 participant. And we've brought her back the last 2 years as a mentor. Sierra.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As Dale said, my name is Sierra Stoddard Anderson. I know, it's a mouthful, and nothing at all that I expect you to remember. If there is anything I can help you understand, it is the importance and understanding of a knowledge base in STEM. I attended JSTI in 2014 as a participant, and for the past 2 years, I've had the incredible honor of coming back as an alumni mentor. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, with this job title, there comes many responsibilities, and things such as sleep deprivation, understanding, and the constant desire to always be working. It's extremely rough, but it's the best gig out there. Growing up, I didn't always have the best role models surrounding me. I had family members on both my mother's and my father's side who used illicit and illegal substances as a gateway to escape reality, including my own parents. Very early on in my life, I turned to academics as a crutch to escape the things in my life that I didn't want to face. My first real experience with science was the 6th grade science fair. That was kind of like the first time I got the opportunity to explore with the scientific method in the process of hypothesis, experiment, conclusions, and making adjustments as I needed to. I won the honorable mention ribbon that year, and it was kind of like out of the whole state, so even competing with high schoolers, and it was like a 4th place ribbon, and it was really awesome. I didn't have any ribbons, so I liked the ribbon more than I liked the science, I think. My next opportunity waited and waited and waited until my sophomore year of high school when I got the opportunity to come to JSTI 2014. This was kind of the first opportunity I had to explore STEM. I just knew the science aspect. I didn't know that I cared about any other aspect of STEM. I did computer programming that year in the form of coding in Raspberry Pi, those cool little things Dale was telling you about a few minutes ago. I still, to this day, probably could tell you nothing about them. But it was awesome to kind of live out those nerd fantasies and to learn in the summer. Who doesn't like to learn in the summer? I owe my thanks to Janie Campbell for this. She forced me to sit down one day in her classroom at lunch, and she told me, "You're not going to go eat lunch until you apply to this program. Seriously, Sierra, it could change your life." And I think that having teachers like that is something that's very important to our youth and to further our education, because we need inspiration. I met some of my best friends and my biggest mentors that year, and I was able to continue to learn off of them and their strength, have support, and real true inspiration. I came home from JSTI after experiencing the best 2 weeks of my life, and I had a new flame. I was in a very small high school, and my graduating class ended up being just 27 people. I didn't have a lot of opportunities that many of my college peers had. And I didn't learn that until I got into college. But I did take advantage of the things that I could. I doubled up in math my sophomore year, taking 2 classes, and by the end of my junior year, I had just 1 class left to take, which was basic chemistry. This was something I had never really played around with before, and so me, being from a small high school, being very small-minded, decided that a chemistry degree was going to be what I was going to pursue. I graduated in 2016 at the top of my class with a full-ride $180,000 NROTC scholarship to the University of Utah. I started college, and I felt eager to learn and dive into a chemistry degree. but I faced a lot of medical setbacks, and that first semester ended with me having a medically induced, stress-induced stroke, and I lost that scholarship, and I ended up having to drop out of college completely. And at this point, I felt really hopeless. I felt like I was trying and trying and trying, but nothing was working, and I was just failing. I started to recover later that year, and the opportunity to come back to JSTI as an alumni presented itself. I re-enrolled in school, and again, pursued that chemistry degree because I was like, oh, I can do this. I'm not gonna quit. I walked into my organic chemistry class, and I looked around. It was a pretty decent-sized class, typical chemistry class, and there was just 6 females. I counted them. I know it's weird, but I counted them. And there was 98 people in the class. I struggled through that class because I felt like my voice was dulled. I felt like I shouldn't ask questions because it was too strong of a male environment. And that was something I had never really encountered before because I was always the one to ask the questions or to answer the questions. Janie could speak for that. I walked into physical chemistry the next semester after barely surviving organic, and I felt even more unwelcome because there was just 4 of us left. The class was smaller, but there was still only 4 females. At the end of that semester, I had 2 Ds on my GPA and was, again, feeling kind of hopeless and kind of lost. And because in my mind, Ds aren't acceptable. I'd never had a D before I walked into college, and I still don't like it. But after coming to the realization that I wasn't understanding what I was learning, and no matter how hard I was trying, maybe this wasn't the best fit for me, I started to explore new options. I stand before you today as a criminal justice major with an emphasis in forensic science and pre-law, excited for the opportunities that I've been afforded to continuously keep learning and expanding my knowledge base. Every struggle that I've faced in my life has shown me that failures are acceptable, as long as they come in moderation. JSTI opened my eyes to the potential possibilities of STEM and the fact that everything we do in the world involves science, technology, engineering, and math. I only hope that students can continue to evolve their knowledge base and always be willing to learn. I've done plenty of research since my failures to see how women in the STEM field have overcome the challenges of working in predominantly male fields. I discovered Katherine Johnson, and I discovered one of my biggest inspirations. For those of you that don't know and aren't familiar with the true story surrounding the movie Hidden Figures, Katherine Johnson joined an all-male flight research team working for NASA in space programs such as Project Mercury and Apollo 11. She did this in the 1960s, and not only was she the first female to enter this field, but she was African American, facing segregation. My favorite quote by her states, "I have found that women are not only just as much interested as men are in flying, but apparently have less fear than the men have." This quote showed me that minus the struggles, we shouldn't let fear guide and redirect our lives and the destinations we want to achieve. I start my junior year of college in just 3 weeks, and that's a fact that seems to blow my mind. In 2 short years, my hope is to be Second Lieutenant Sierra Anderson of the United States Marine Corps and have a bachelor's degree. I don't know what, but I know I'll have one. Through perseverance and passion, I've discovered that it is possible. It's just difficult. I hope to continue to be a mentor to many more people in my life, and I hope to be inspired forever. STEM matters, and it's all around us. And while our paths may alter, they should never falter, because we are the innovation of the future. Thank you. I'm gonna do this. Dale doesn't know I'm gonna interrupt him right now. But I just want to give a few special thanks on behalf of myself and all the rest of the alumni. We want to thank ORAU, ORISE, DITRA, and a special thanks to Dale. I'm going to try really hard not to get emotional, but this program has impacted my life in so many different ways, and Dale holds a big part of that. He never lets our voices fail, and he always makes sure that we're heard. And this is important. This is where our future is going, and I think that it's important just to know that we have people like this that exist. And so it's very much deserved, and I hope that all of you can continue to grow and learn from this program the way that we have all been blessed to. Thank you. I told you I was going to try not to.
Our next guest speaker is Leah Ashmore. She was a 2015 participant in the program.
Hi everyone, my name is Leah, as he said, and today I'm going to be presenting you my story. In a sense, growing up I always usually had my story told for me because I was pretty shy. I don't really like talking to people about my personal life in the sense that I feel like it's either bragging or I'm not as competent as other people. But recently, given this opportunity, I was trying to decide what exactly to tell you all about my story. And so it's just from when I was here at this wonderful program as a student until now. So the summer of 2015 was my upcoming senior year, and I was wondering what to do with myself. And my mom signed me up, or showed me these two programs, one in California and one in Maryland. And at the time, I was very set on being a veterinarian, specializing in large animals. I was hoping to work at a zoo, sanctuary, or even a rehabilitation center. And at the time, California seemed like a great idea, going out there and studying farm animals. And STEM didn't really interest me. I mean, I already knew what I wanted to be and what to do. I didn't think I had to go somewhere and learn some new stuff just to not use it. But the idea of STEM was also scary to me. I didn't really know much about it, so I was afraid that if I went, I would be as less competent as my peers. So we fast forward, and I didn't get accepted to California, which was a really big bummer. But Maryland and JSCI was still really interested in me. So by the grace of God and my mother, I went. And it was actually a lot different than I expected. You know, like I said, I don't know much about STEM. I thought it was just gonna be study, 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 research, 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 and no fun. But when I got here, all the staff and the RTs were amazing. They were friendly, they were open, and they all had something to do with STEM. So if I had any questions, I could literally go to anyone, and they would give me all the advice they had. And it was just really eye-opening. Going to the groups, I was hoping that they'd give me a time to participate in water quality, because, you know, testing water, seeing how it affects marine and the environment was kind of right up my alley. And I wanted to do it so bad, but instead I was put in math modeling. And anyone who knows me or has talked to me about school knows that I do not like math. It is very hard for me to sit there and try to solve them because it seems like a foreign language to me. I get stuck on trying to figure out which are the right numbers when really you should be focused on how to do the correct formulas, and it doesn't really make any sense. But I digress. So I am in the math modeling program or group with my mentor, Mr. Krzyzewski, and he was actually a lot of help. Very kind man, very open and responsive to questions. Anything we asked him, anything at all, he always had answers for us. Or to the best of his ability, because sometimes he wouldn't know, and then he'd come back the next day with the correct answer. But as much as it was a learning process for me, I knew it was one for him as well. Talking to a bunch of new kids and new experiences that he'd never seen before. And it was a great interaction between us, the students, and him, the mentor. We did a lot of HPAC simulators, and we went to his job and watched his other peers do aerosol deposition testing, and it was a lot of fun. And then I realized that math isn't just math. It can be used for a lot of different things. Yeah, you're nodding your head, you get it. And it was, in a sense, interesting. Now, I'm not gonna dedicate my life to math because I still do not appreciate it as much as I, would like to, but I understand that in STEM, math is important just as much as engineering and technology and science. So I left the JSCI program as a student with insightful and wonderful memories that I would never forget, because to this day, I always talk about it, and it's my favorite thing I've ever done. Fast forward to 2017, graduate high school. I'm in college now, my freshman year, finished it, and it feels great. First semester was fine, A's and B's, no problem, simple classes. But as it led on, it got tougher, and I was starting to doubt myself. I was thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't be a vet because the work is so difficult and I can't seem to get it no matter how hard I try. So instead of me falling down and getting back up and trying again, I kind of fell and stayed down. I decided that veterinarian wasn't my path, and I switched to general biology. Now, science is still my favorite thing, and I love biology because I love the science of life. I just love understanding how everything works. And I still thought it was a good set for me, even though it wasn't what I wanted to do since I was a child. After I changed my degree, and though I'm still in school and I'm still studying very hard, I still feel disconnected from who I once was and who I once wanted to be. So the whole being in college was just a journey to find myself and what really was my calling. So March comes around and I get an invitation to come back to JSTI as a mentor, an alumni, and I can't tell you how happy I was to see that. I didn't know that my impact on them was as great as it was for me, that they even thought of considering to have me come back. And so I came back, and realizing that my position in the program was much different than before, it filled me with such honor and gratitude that they even wanted me to be there and help mentor and motivate these kids to not only be a part of STEM, but to also follow their dreams and do what they want to, even if it's hard and difficult, that with all these people surrounding them who believe so much in them, who want them to succeed in life, that I was a part of that, and we could make it happen for them in however way we could. I was a part of the water quality group. Morgan Minyard was my mentor, and Christina Parman was the assistant, and I was kind of there as the middleman. I talked to the kids and got to know them really well. To this day, both groups that I've worked with for the past 2 years have been close to my heart. They're wonderful children. They're very smart and very intelligent, and they all seem to know at least what they want or what they want to be or what they're trying to become. And I think that was motivation for me to try my best and figure out what did I want to do with my life. And so leaving the program, not only did I affect their lives, but they affected mine as well. They made me want to become a better person than who I am today. And so everything about JSTI has been wonderful and has been an empowering impact. I've taken more leadership roles at school. I am now the acting president of my Diversifying Mind Club, and I am speaking today as a keynote speaker. That was asked of me, and I decided, why not? Because I felt like I could do it, and I am, because I'm standing here in front of you, and you all seem very interested in what I have to say. I mean, I hope so. So if anything, what I want for everybody to take from this message is follow your heart, love what you want to do and what you think is your best idea, and take it with all your might. Don't ever hold back, and don't ever think you can't do it. Life can be scary and even intimidating, but that shouldn't be the reason that you give up. Because I know that giving up on what you want most in life is devastating, not only to you, but to everyone around you who thought that you could do it, because you can. So if a door shuts in your face or you end up falling down, get up, brush yourself off, and continue that path to the better door. Thank you.
So I think you get an idea about why I keep trying to do this program every year. It's being around these young people and seeing their passion kind of rejuvenates us as we get a little bit older every year. So that concludes the formal portion of the program. I invite you all to stick around, look at the posters that are outside that the students made, and there is also a buffet lunch I hope you enjoy before you leave. We have a lot of flyers and drivers, so I wish you safe travels. And on behalf of Dr. Han, thank you for coming and allowing us to spend time with you. Thank you.